Michael Savage is being removed off the air. Within 3 months, he won't even be on the air anymore. They're going to pay out his contract. They're killing him slowly, cutting him from 3 hours to 1. And they're replacing him with Ben Shapiro. Because, hey, if you can't get your own audience, steal it. It's the information apocalypse. We're definitely now in the middle of it. Look at these headlines. Foreigners dump U.S. treasuries as they liquidate a record number of U.S. stocks in an attempt to kill our stock market and our economy to stop Trump and the march of nationalism. That's been the globalist plan. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, residents should not panic. Thousands of Las Vegas homes get 0 offers for November. That's just some economic indicators. Meanwhile, New York Times article suggests human extinction a good thing and needs to happen. Michael Snyder article up on Infowars.com. MK Ultra, far worse than previously known. Special report. Will Generation Z save us from our millennials? Paul Joseph Watson video. Sordid history of pedophilia and the political left. Greg Reese, Infowars.com, special report. Expert, Bitcoin soon worthless. Big surprise, raw fruit and vegetables better for your mental health than canned produce. I mean, there's no way to pick your top stories with all this insanity. Meanwhile, Fox News, Napolitano says Trump is unindicted co-conspirator, ample evidence to indict the president of the United States. More and more Napolitano's talking about how honest and good Mueller is. Well, we happen to know why. Actually, with Fox News host, reportedly, that are in the Mueller crosshairs. Continuing, Michael Savage being silenced by corporate censorship, his attorneys say, and I've talked to the Savage camp today. They can't speak because of contracts, but I can. At the bottom of the next hour, we have the Ben Shapiro expert, Vox Day, joining us. I'm a little bit of a Ben Shapiro expert because I remember back when he was the lawyer for Talk Radio Network when he was like 25. And the thing Savage told me off record, I've not been authorized to say. But I knew this from other people at Talk Radio Network 15, 20 years ago, before even Shapiro showed up. And this guy is bad news. He's the Harvard Mafia. And Savage is being taken off the air down to 1 hour. Then he'll be taken completely off within 3 months. And Ben Shapiro is being given his audience. Of course, they're not going to stay. But talk about the royalty of the Weekly Standard, the royalty of the National Review, neocon blue blood garbage. This guy is being force-fed to us at a level I've never before seen. And he's behind the scenes working all over the place to hurt you-know-who, Alexander Emmerich Jones. And he is completely up the rear end of Glenn Beck. He is the return of Glenn Beck. God help us. God help us. And if this model of replacing Savage works, they're going after Limbaugh and Hannity next. I have it from the highest sources. And why is this so important? Why am I a talk show host defending my competition? Because they're not my competition. They're American patriots who care about the country, and they're being removed ahead of Trump being removed. They're taking out anyone loyal to the truth, anyone loyal to the president, anyone loyal to the country. Everyone is being attacked, shut down, sued, removed. Everyone. And Savage, through his lawyers, said that is happening, but now he can't speak because of the contracts I guess he has. I say, damn the contracts. And again, I'm not going to get into inside baseball. I told Savage 2 years ago this was coming. I said, I'll build you a platform that no one even knows we've built for you. And he said, well, we'll see what happens down the road. But I told him this was coming. I told him. So it's bad, folks. Oh, I haven't even hit 1/3 of the stacks. Pewtie Pie, #1 media personality in world history. A lot of adults never heard of him. He is the big kahuna. The left is muscling in to completely shut him down. We'll break it all down straight ahead and so much more. Meanwhile, We've got big news on China. Stay with us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a title that I wish I had, but I certainly embrace it because it means we're getting the job done. You are tuned into the most censored, most lied about, most demonized, most attacked multimedia transmission in the world. And we have been, at times, the #1 news and information program on the planet. And despite the fact that we've had many of our tentacles cut off, our core operation has never been stronger thanks to all of you out there. But it is biblical what is going on. We now have a very clear picture of what is about to happen. That's why you get next year's news today here. There is a systematic persecution, removal, curtailing, censoring, banning of not just nationalists and patriots and conservatives and Christians on the internet, but in businesses, in colleges, in churches, and on talk radio and television. I've talked to many of the top Fox News hosts who have been called into rooms the last 2 years and screamed at that they better turn against Trump or they will be removed off the air. About 2 years ago, Fox became very anti-Trump for a while. They lost half their ratings. They ran back and allowed people to be pro-Trump, and all the listeners came back. But Sean Hannity never wavered. When Tucker Carlson was brought on, he was not 100% behind Trump. And so that's why they thought he was a good guy. But once he saw the stakes, he's become pro-Trump, and he's in the crosshairs. I know the inside baseball on Michael Savage. I know the inside baseball on Rush Limbaugh. I know the inside baseball on Sean Hannity. I know the inside baseball on everything, basically. And I'm not at liberty to tell you everything, but let me just get to this point. Michael Savage is being removed off the air. Within 3 months, he won't even be on the air anymore. They're going to pay out his contract. They're killing him slowly, cutting him from 3 hours to 1. And they're replacing him with Ben Shapiro. Because, hey, if you can't get your own audience, steal it. But they'll leave. They're literally grafting this cancer in everywhere. And we're going to be breaking down who Ben Shapiro is coming up in the next hour. And it's the anatomy of a snake. The anatomy of the neocon, Weekly Standard, National Review blueprint to continue to control the Republican Party and to send this country into the New World Order. And it ties into the move to take down Trump. And Judge Andrew Napolitano, who I've had dinner with and been on the phone with and been on the show many times, and who I have associates that are very close friends with, and they say that there are different Fox News hosts who did talk to Julian Assange, which is not a crime, and that they are connected into Napolitano. And obviously Napolitano is under amazing pressure at Fox to be somewhat anti-Trump. So now he's all over Shep Smith, the rabid anti-Trumper, every day basically saying Mueller's a wonderful person. Trump could have committed crimes. He's the unindicted co-conspirator. All of this is part of the season of finding out who's who and who's got metal and who doesn't. But you better believe I'm still on the horse for a reason. When they make their move to shut down all the media, which they're doing, all the loyal pro-American media, for old Mueller and the rest of them to make their move on the president, we intend to stay at the helm, and we intend to go down with the ship or win the battle. And just like they told John Paul Jones, founder of the U.S. Navy, he was fighting a British ship twice his size, and it appeared his ship was sinking. And the British captain called over the bullhorn, "Are you ready to surrender?" And he said, "I surrender. I've only begun to fight." And he ended up capturing the British ship, tying his sinking ship to it and saving both. And that's what we intend to do. We are fully in, totally committed to the Republic. Trump's already gotten 2 good Supreme Court justices in. He's already derailed TPP. He's already tried to bring the economy back for 2 years. The globalists are waging a total economic war to shut it down. And I've never been more satisfied at a spiritual level. I've never been I'm very satisfied. And I feel close to God. The last time I said that, they went, Jones is going to commit suicide. He says he feels close to God. No, it's the opposite. When I say I feel close to God, it means I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and every cell in my body and my spirit just says, you're doing the right thing. Now your ancestors are proud of you. Now you finally are starting to achieve what it was you knew you were supposed to do. Now there's not that burning, nagging, pushing feeling constantly. As we step into this, as we see the future, as we see what we've all got to do as men, take our licks and keep ticking as long as we can. We're going to be examples to the young people, the future generations, and we're joining those men and women that came before us that had the mettle to take us into the future. And we're not taking their sacrifices for vain. We're not letting everything they laid down on the line be pissed away. We're on the right side of history, and I am just incredibly honored to have this audience. I'm incredibly honored to have the amazing minds that listen to this transmission, and I can feel your strength, and you give me strength. And I want to thank you all for your prayers. You've got mine, and you've got my will 1,000,000,000% focused on your destiny and my destiny together. Total commitment. Doesn't mean I'm not going to falter or stumble, but you've got my total commitment. And the enemy knows that. But I tell you, it's disgusting watching Napolitano. Disgusting. Makes me sick. But this is where you find out who's real and who isn't. Matt Drudge has been staying the course. Sean Hannity's been staying the course. Or Limbaugh's been staying the course. It doesn't mean any of us are perfect, damn it. Hindsight's 20/20. But as you get older and you see the world clearer and you know the time you're in, you know who's good and you know who's bad. WorldNet Daily's good. InfoWars is good. Zero Hedge is good. So many other groups are good people. And as things get worse and worse now, they say, everybody's like Alex Jones now. No, they're not like me. I only saw what was happening and was right. Now it's here. And because we and the listeners and many before us saw what was happening, we've got a fighting shot at this. That's why they intimidated us. That's why they attacked us. That's why they lied about us. Because they wanted to intimidate others so they wouldn't stand up and do the right thing when the hammer fell. You know, I read these articles here in front of me and how they tie together. How the globalists are openly trying to crash the world economy right now. We're going to be covering that. There's so much more we're going to be getting to, but foreigners dump U.S. treasuries as they liquidate a record number of U.S. stocks. That's all to stop America and its resurgence. We told you it was coming. Trump warned you that voting for the Democrats would green light this operation, and now they're doing it. And I expect this to blow up in the globalist face. They're now, one of the top trending terms on Twitter is depression, because they want to punish us, just like Bill Maher said, and teach us to hate ourselves and teach us to hate people that stood up for what was right. Men who didn't want to be slaves, didn't want you to be slaves. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to look at the eye of the storm. They're not just moving against all the conservatives. They're moving against wild cards like Pewtie Pie, who has 100 million views on YouTube alone, close to 100 million subscribers. And they're now making their move on him. A lot of adults are like, who's this guy? We don't care. Well, he's real popular under 20. He's #1 in the world. And they're making their move on him now. This is a critical point in the entire matrix space-time continuum. Believe it. And I'm going to break down why it is straight ahead. Because either way you slice it with things like Pewtie Pie, it's over for the globalists. Long term. The question is, which path do we take? The easy one? And by that, meaning our full force now to stop the disaster, or go into the disaster, which will guarantee the globalist total destruction, but many of us will perish in the melee.
Proper B vitamin intake is essential to keep the body functioning at optimum levels. Optimum levels. With our modern diets, it can be hard to get the recommended amount of B vitamins we need every day. optimum levels. B vitamins we need every day. Secret 12 combines two bioactive forms of vitamin B12 for optimal absorption. Optimal absorption. Secret 12 is an easy way to increase your vitamin B12 intake as you age. Secret 12 optimal absorption. B vitamins help the body convert food into energy by supporting your intercellular processes. B vitamins are also essential for the optimal functioning of the brain and nervous system. Optimum levels. Secret 12 is an easy way to increase your vitamin B12 intake. Head to InfoWarsLife.com and support optimal brain and body function with Secret 12. That's InfoWarsLife.com.